Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Ultima 3. So, you may notice I have Tato 1, Tato 2, Tato 3, Tato 4, Tato being short for Potato. And these four are going to be, well, if you understand what those letters after their name means, you'll wonder what the hell I just made, why I made it. Unless you've played this game, and that's why you understand it, then you will know exactly what I'm about to go do. But I had to walk to the inn in the Lord British's castle, and yes, we have 4 characters here, 2 clerics, and 2 wizards. Why would I make a party of 4 non-melee combatants? Why would I do this? Just because I wanted to. Okay, let's recharge them, because when you create new characters like that, they start out with no magic and you have to walk around to replenish it. So before we actually get into the whole what we are doing, let's talk a little bit about the interface here and what all this means. What you see there is just the very bare bones status screen. It's your name, your identifiers, I guess you could say. The G next to the name means what condition that character is in. If it's poisoned, it'll be marked with a P instead of a G. G stands for good. If they are dead, it would be marked with a D. And yes, you do tote around their corpses until you attempt to resurrect them, and a resurrection will either bring them back to life or completely destroy their body and turn them into ash, and for that you will need a stronger spell to bring them back. And ash would be marked with an A. But then there's also the cold status. You know, like you have a cold, a head cold, or sinus infection or something like that, in which case you'd be marked with C. After that, the F or M in the next slot is male or female. The B and the F next to that is what race they are, in this case Bobbit or Fuzzy. And then the last one, CW, that is an identifier for which class they are. Below all that, the H, O150, and FO150, those are your hit points and your food totals. Unlike, at least what I remember, I could definitely be proven wrong in this, but unlike in Ultima 1 and 2, if you run out of food, you do not drop dead immediately. You just start losing hit points. And gaining hit points, it's, well, let's just say you're going to need cure spells to be able to gain any hit points whatsoever. It gets real annoying real fast. Off to the right over there, M is your magic points, and L is your level. Right now we have 17 magic points. All of these 4 characters will have 25 magic points by the time they get done. And so food, it's much like in Ultima 1 and 2, as you walk around you consume food. Only now you got 4 characters consuming food, so it's become an extra added expense. I think they did tone down how often they eat to keep from making it completely unmanageable. But also, let's look at this. When you start a new character, they each start with 100 gold, a dagger in their hand, and some cloth armor on their back. Everybody starts this way. And that is one way you can use to farm gold without actually having to go out and fight monsters. We will mess with that, is something for later, but here it just shows you their attributes. And I created them as I created everything else. Maximum, that's strength, dex, int, whiz, maximum magic points, and maximum hit points. They cannot get more hit points until they level up. Leveling up does 2 things in this game, both of which these guys are going to go through, and then we're going to do a thing. We'll talk about that in a second. Gold can be maxed out at 9999, so can experience. And for every 100 points of experience we get, that character, not the party, but that character can go can go level up 1. And every time you gain level, you gain another maximum 100 hit points. It does absolutely nothing for your attribute, so you are no stronger than you were, you just have more hit points to absorb damage. Okay? Okay. So let's talk about the commands we can issue. We can talk to people. We walk up here, talk to them. King's a kind man, okay? We could cast magic. And in this case, Undead, Open, Heal, and Glow are available to us. These spells do things. We are going to be concerned with 4 spells for the very longest time. Undead, and the wizard equivalent of Repel. Open, which has no wizard equivalent. And Heal, which also has no wizard equivalent. Undead and Repel are used to kill the weakest monsters on the field in a hurry. Open will open treasure chests that you find. When you beat an enemy, it drops a treasure chest on the ground. You open the treasure chest, and if you do it non-magically, there is a chance it's going to be trapped and poison you, or give you a cold, or explode and hurt everybody in the party. If you use the open, it disarms the trap, or if you're a very high-level thief. Heal, that's how you restore some hit points. And Glow, well, that's used in the dungeons to provide light. Tato over here has Repel. Again, that's the early spell. It costs no magic, just like Undead does, and it is used to beat the early level monsters on the open plains. Missile is magic missile, basically. It just shoots out a little bolt of power. Light is, well, it provides light in a dungeon. Descend and Ascend move you down or up in a dungeon. There are other spells these guys will get, but right now this is all we really have to worry about. The fight command will initiate a fight with whoever you are looking at. Do not do this with the townsfolk, at least not early on. The guards will swarm you, and the guards will put you out of your misery. Status, we've seen what status does. Tools, well, when we actually get some tools, we will be able to use this to excuse me. We will be able to use that to actually activate the tools. Give means you can give a piece of equipment to an NPC. Get means you will try to grab something that's laying down on the floor. Climb means you move up or down a ladder that's right there in front of you. And a lot of people that played the NES version, like I did way back when, saw this and thought this was all the commands you got. What the manual doesn't really state is you hit select here, and it has 4 more things. Food will redistribute the food you buy evenly among all the members of your party. The gold will allow you to give gold to one character or another. The horse will allow you to mount a horse if you buy one. And the order will allow you to change party order. This is important because we will see in a second. So let's go out here and see if we can get into a fight. Not good, enemy. And in this case, these are skeletons. Skeletons are weak to the undead spell. But the undead and repel spells have a trick to them. The trick is that they work on only one of the 2 frames of animation you see. When you hit the undead button there, when you hit the button to launch undead, it'll look at which frame of animation is currently on screen, and if it's the right one, it will fire off. If not, it will tell you it failed. With all of them, it is when their with these guys, it is when their swords are at an angle instead of straight up. Or if you look at it, it is when the wizard in our party has his staff down, or the cleric has their staff up. So yeah, as long as you time the magic, So let's see, up, 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 up. And this will just automatically kill, not all, usually. Sometimes it actually does get them all. Not always, though. But there, we have it. We now have a treasure chest in front of us, so we will now open up said treasure chest. And get ourselves a little bit of gold, and it says, hey, there was a trap there, but Tato avoided it. So now, what do we need to do now? What is our first goal? Our first goal is getting a boat. And getting a boat is going to be, it's a fairly long and involved process. So, leveling up, it does two things. First, it gives you more hit points when you level up. Second thing that leveling up does is that when you level up, the highest leveled character you have will decide what the game is going to populate. We'll decide what the game is going to populate the overworld with. The higher level you are, the tougher the monsters that get stuck in the overworld with you, and you will have to fight them. You can't do anything. So yeah, the higher level you go, the tougher the monsters get for you to walk around and fight. Now maybe you remember me saying that leveling up doesn't increase your attributes and you're exactly as weak as you were to begin with. This can prove to be a little bit of a problem. Also the fact that I can't apparently not hit this undead with the undead spell. So, the problem with getting a pirate ship is it will not show up until we have a level 5 character. Which means, at that point in time, we're actually starting to get demons and sea serpents and other things to populate the world. So this could be kind of a problem. Maybe you see the problems that are going to show up from this. So, this is why we have Tato 1 through 4 here, because once we get a pirate ship, we can ditch the high-level characters and go back to our old characters, go back to the low-level characters. And once we go back to the low-level characters, so we're still at level 1, everything goes back to these monsters. It's cheesy, but it works. Anyway, I don't want to walk around and waste too much food, not actually doing the fighting to get our characters leveled up here. But the goal is to get all 4 of these characters enough experience to level up to level 5. And getting the experience does not automatically mean they level up to 5. Once they level up to 5, or get enough experience to level up, you have to go talk to Lord British. And each character in the party has to talk to them individually. And he will promote them in level. And then at that point you have to sit there and go, well, I need to restore some hit points, because leveling up may give you 100 extra max hit points, but it doesn't actually increase your current hit points. Oh, and these guys are the ones the wizards get to fight. And they get hit on the same exact beat, so when the cleric staff is in the up position, or the wizard staff is in the down position, that is when you actually get to, open up on them. But there are a lot of enemies out here, and for a while, this is very easy, kinda cheap, and not very exciting, but it is how you begin the game. But we need to gain all of these characters about 400 experience each, so they can turn into level 5. And in the meantime, we use the gold that we will get from doing this to buy more food. Buy maces for our clerics there. I don't think I can buy them better armor. I think they're kind of stuck with cloth armor. I'd have to look. It has been a little while since I've had to do this. But I'm pretty sure the clerics do not get better armor. But if we have 4 characters that are sitting at 500 hit points, we should be in good enough position to get a pirate ship. Because getting a pirate ship is not just as simple as finding one walking around carrying a blue tassel and boarding it. No, we've actually got to kill the things that are on it. We got to kill the pirates. And they are fairly sturdy things. And before you worry, well, what happens if one of these characters gets way ahead of the others and they get enough experience to level up to 9 or 10? You're capped at 5 for the time being. You are capped at level 5 for the time being. So you do not have to worry about that. But that is the immediate plan. We use this group to level up. We use the level up to get ourselves a pirate ship. And once we get ourselves a pirate ship, we save the game. Then we go back. We get our original party back out of storage. After handing over all the gold and such that these guys have on them. We can't hand over the food, sadly. At least not easily. It takes a little bit of party manipulation to be able to handle over any food that you manage to collect. But yeah, we get our pirate ship, we swap out, and then we use our pirate ship to, well, make things much easier on ourselves. I didn't even time that. I accidentally hit the button before I was actually ready, but luckily it actually managed to be on the right frame of animation. It's a coin flip when you do that, because obviously you've got 2 frames of animation. That's what happens when you do it on the wrong beat. And yes, if you accidentally select fight and want to back out of it, it will take that as you canceling your action, and you move on to the next character. But yeah, this is our world for a nice long time. Just beating up ghouls, skeletons, bandits, things like that. Also notice that in all of our travels, everyone has consumed 12 of their food stores. And food basically costs 1 to 1. So that's 48 gold in food that we have burned through just doing this. Now, if you are in dire need of gold, you can go to, there is a place called a blood bank, basically. Guy that kinda sorta looks like a doctor, where you can give blood and they will pay you money for your hit points, basically. I don't recommend doing this unless you are just goddamn desperate, because you then have to sit outside and wait for your magic to recharge so you can cast a cure spell. Which, with these guys, you get 1 magic point back per step, so it doesn't take forever, but it does take a few minutes. And before you before you wonder if I'm ever going to kill anything that is not one of these low-level monsters, oh yeah, we actually do need to venture down into the dungeons, and venturing down into the dungeons means we will meet stronger things. So why do I need a ship before I do that? Because a ship is the only way to reach the place where you can increase your attributes to make you hit harder, cast bigger spells, etc., etc., etc. Notice that in just the time we've been walking around here, I've gained close to 1,000 gold. 700 plus, well, okay, 850, somewhere in there, as far as just pure gold. So I have made a profit. So now that I have made a profit, we're going to go here. See if I can remember where all the important things are. That is the pub. We can get drinks at the pub for information. We do not need information right now. There we go. A weapon shop. And you are going to buy a mace. It is the strongest thing you can equip. I don't think you can even equip a sling. See? Can't wear that. And unfortunately, to do this, you have to have an individual talk, then they transact everything and you have to get out. Then you have to have a second individual talk. It gets kind of annoying. Come on, status. We can equip the mace, cloth, mace, cloth. So, Potato 1 can give a weapon here. We can give the dagger, Potato 2. Potato 3 can also give the dagger, Potato 4. And now Potatoes 2 and 4 have an extra dagger, just in case they end up throwing one somewhere. But with the money we have left over here so far, we are going to talk. Okay, you can buy bronze armor. Good. Okay. You can actually get some decent armor. Okay. You can't wear it on. My wizards can't wear bronze armor. Clerics can. Clerics do get decent armor. Well, decent for early game, I guess. But now we need to get a whole bunch more gold before we can buy the next set of armor. Do we? Hang on. Let's actually see something. Give all the money over to Potato 3 here. Oh, I have just enough. Okay. So let's go ahead. You put on your bronze armor. Now we are nearly broke, but we still have plenty of food. We are not going to starve anytime soon. And we can sell stuff back to the armory here, just to get it out of our inventory. Not that it matters. There we go. And just to kind of finish this off, come down here to the grocer. There our grocers are going to use. Our characters are going to use the money they got from selling the cloth to buy some more food. Now we share food. And everybody now has 168 food, and we've got much improved equipment for our clerics. Our wizards, however, get to, it gets to suck to be them because, well, they cannot get better stuff. I would love it if a wizard could get slightly better stuff, but they cannot. We're not going to need it right off. We're not going to need it right away anyway. It's not a big deal. But now, we are going to go out here and we are going to fight until we get everybody up to level 5. It's going to take a while, but once we do that, I'm going to do this off screen, of course. We are definitely doing that part off screen. You've watched me for, what, 20 minutes now fighting monsters out here? Not the most exciting stuff in the world, but it was progress. Because it got us to our maximum armor state we are going to be for a little while. But yeah, that right now, the next step is me being off screen. I've got to go grind everyone here up to level 5. Or at least, you know, enough experience points for everybody to get there. Then I'm going to start recording, and we are going to begin the hunt for the ship. But anyway, until then, take care, everyone.